Hi, everyone, and welcome to part two of our three-part smartphone cinematic series. I'm Lauren Smith, one of the program coordinators at Sage Collective, and we are here to continue rewriting the narrative on aging. You may have joined us this past Tuesday, where our special guest walked us through how to record stunning videos using only our smartphone. Tonight, we'll be taking the next step and learning how to edit our home videos into fun and engaging masterpieces. Before we jump into our lesson, I wanted to remind you all that season two of Sage Advice Vibrant Living, the podcast, is available now. If you haven't gotten to take a listen quite yet, tune in to hear some more friends of Sage Collective and learn about the unsung heroes of caregiving, our navigating relationships as you age, and many more topics to come. Now, I have kept you waiting long enough. I'm thrilled to introduce once again our resident video expert, Dimitri Williams. For
Hi.
those meeting Dimitri for the first time, he is from Kingstree, South Carolina, and has been fully involved in video production and editing for the past 10 years. As a video specialist originating in the corporate world, he's spent the past decade crafting engaging video content and creating unique visual narratives. Dimitri, thank you so much for joining us again tonight. Can you let us know what we'll be doing in part two today? What you'll be walking us through?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me again, Lauren and Sage Collective. So today we will be doing a beginner-friendly lesson on video editing with your smartphone. And so we'll be going through two apps tonight so you can kind of get a look and feel just in case if you have your own preference. As you recall from Tuesday, if you may have joined us then, we gave you a few options to choose from. And so I'm very curious to know which ones that you choose and if you have any questions for me tonight.
Awesome. Although I'm excited to build on my skills from Tuesday to learn a little bit more. And for our audience, if you all have any questions throughout our lesson, please throw them in the chat and I'll be sure to chime in and share them with Dimitri as we go along. So I know I'm ready to get going. Dimitri, I'll hand it over to you and I can't wait to learn what's next.
Thank you, Lauren. Okay, if you'll just allow me to share my screen and then we'll kind of go through the first steps in your video editing process. And so first things first is first downloading your preferred video editing software or app. And to do so, I'm going to be using my personal iPhone today to kind of walk you through this. So if you have an iPhone, the process will be, you can just follow this process. But if you have an Android, it'll be slightly different. So for iPhone users, you will go to your app store, which is already included on your phone. And for Android users, you will go to Google Play to be able to find your video editing apps that you would like to download. So first things first, if you're looking to create a video and you want something to help you edit that video in a seamless and easy way, especially for beginners who are trying to learn this skill set, you'll just go to the App Store and type in video editor or video editing app, whichever. So we have a few options that pop up. And then you have here a few apps that you can download. And so you have some that kind of has the same or kind of show different, attributes that they may have to kind of entice you to download them. But you want to make sure that you're reviewing the apps that you plan to download. And so what you can do is just click that app and just check the preview to make sure it's exactly what you want to download first and foremost, and to also make sure it's going to do what it is that you are asking or what you're looking to do. So with that being said, we're going to go and use one of the apps that I'm going to be using today, which is called Filmora. And so all you do is just type in the search bar and you can type in Filmora, which is Filmora, and it should be available for Android users. I know that it is available for iOS iPhone users. And so we're going to be using Filmora today. And as you can see, once it's open, you have a few things that pop out at you. And first things first, I don't want you to be alarmed because it might look like a lot, but it's quite simple. This is just the preferred app that I like to use, but any app that you download will come with the basic essentials that we're going to talk about on tonight. So the first thing you want to look for is new project, or you might find something that looks like this, a plus sign. And basically what that will do is just allow you to start a new project based off of your photos that you might have in your camera roll or videos that you want to share. So if you happen to film your own video on Tuesday and hopefully you shared it with Sage Collective, you should be able to import those videos directly into your project. But because that process can take a long time depending on the file format, and you might ask, what is file format? So that's a great question if you do have it. File format is just basically the video type, whether it be MP4, if you heard of it before, or MOV file. That's also a certain, that's also a video type. Your app should be able to access or be able or allow you to import any video that you might have in your phone because your phone was able to download it successfully or upload it successfully. So you should be able to import any video or photo within your phone. So I'll go ahead and open this project here, which I already started because like I said, the import process can take some time. So just be patient with it because we have some very unique and I would say enhanced phones, better than the phones we used to have back in the day, right? Like we used to have phones with keyboards and everything is just touchscreen now. And so, you know, things are more advanced. That's the word I was looking for. Things are more advanced now. And so what you want to do is once those have imported, they'll pop up here on this area here. And this is what we call the timeline, okay? So all your videos will import here and they'll just go in the order that you uploaded them, okay? First things first, we have Queen Bee. Any Beyonce fans out there? I know I am. So about 2 years ago, I attended her first concert and she has another one coming up. So hopefully I'll get the opportunity to get that experience because it was really, really fun. And so what I wanted to do is just kind of highlight something that was just a good time to remember. So this is something that I can look back on and say, oh my gosh, I saw Beyonce, or oh my goodness, it was so much fun. I remember all of the songs that she sung, et cetera, et cetera. So these kind of things kind of trigger those memories, and which is why it's important for us to have video. So once your videos are already laid out on your timeline, which is this right here, you probably want to scrub through them and see what's going on, but I kind of already trimmed things down a little bit for the ease of the show tonight. But you could trim your videos down, and trimming means just shortening it. And so what I mean by that is you can just click that video and you'll see these two arrows that pop up here on the side. That allows you to extend your video or shorten your video, whichever you prefer. All of this is based on preference. So you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just showing you the tools that you can use to create your own video and make it personable to you or personal to you. So I showed you the tool to extend or shorten your video, but let's just go and let's say that I didn't want to do that, right? So we have a button here, which is an arrow that looks like it's going back. That is our undo button. And basically it just undo what I did, corrected what I did not want to happen. And say for instance, well, you say, maybe I like it. Well, we have the redo button here as well. Very simple tools that these video editing apps have given us. And so let's say that we want to look at the next clip here. And you say, this looks fun. This looks, oh, but it does something weird here. I don't like that. So I would play it, but I want to make sure that it's not too loud for you all. It might be a little loud. So what we can do is click the volume button. And so if you did not notice what I just did there, the volume button will be right here. And this is called your toolbar. All of the tools that you will need to edit your videos will be down here. It should be similar on any other apps that you may be using. So just make sure to look for something called volume. And so what we want to do is click that video that sounds a little too loud, and we'll click volume and we'll just bring it over slowly down. So as you notice, the numbers increase, the volume is increasing, but as it decreases, the volume is lowering. But for the sake of this video and for your ears, I'm going to take it very, very low because I want to make sure that it does not cause any alarm to anyone. So we can test it to see if it's to our liking. Can't really hear anything right now because I turned it down low, but let's give it a little grace and turn it up a little bit more to about 30. slightly lower, but for the sake of this video, you saw that dynamic jump. So what we can do also for that, if we don't want that to happen, or we just want our clips to be silent, we don't want any sound because we want to add music to our videos later, we could just go back to volume and you'll see here, there's a button called mute. We can just mute it. And now there's no audio. Okay. I hope you got your notepads because I'm giving you a lot of information today. They may be basic instructions, but it could seem a little overwhelming at first. So just take your time when you're beginning your video, okay? So let's take it back here from the beginning. We have our first clip and we have our second clip. There are some fun things that are embedded in your video editing app that will allow you to get a little creative. So you'll see here, there's a small little button here, and I really hope you can see what I'm pointing at here. You can click that button. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe, actually, hold on. Sometimes I get a little hung up too. It's okay. Experts have mistakes. But so I had to click out of that first. So just play around with it, okay? Sometimes things might look like they're not working, but sometimes it's just human error. So just make sure that you're taking your time, like I said earlier, and seeing if things are working, how they should be working. So the little button that I clicked, it's a button called transition. And so this will help us transition from one clip to the next clip and kind of give it a nice feel. So we have one free, sorry about that. So we have, and remember we go back to volume because we want to mute our clips. So we have 2 clips here that we want to create a transition for. If you were in the class on Tuesday, I did inform you that some apps will require you to pay for extra services. Again, the apps that we have downloaded today and are using today are free, and they're free for you to use as well. So always keep that in mind that you do not have to pay for an app to use it, okay? All you need are the basic tools that I'm showing you on tonight, all right? So you'll see these little crowns here if you are on Filmora, and you'll also see free trial Filmora Pro. Don't even worry about clicking that. Just continue to use any of the features that do not have this green crown here, okay? If it has a green crown, that means you have to pay for it. But we're gonna use the free option tonight. And so what that does is add a nice little flair to it, okay? Now let's test that out and see how that looks. Let's take it from the beginning. Cool. So it's a little stutter there, but that's me being a video professional wanting to tweak everything. But your video does not have to be perfect. Some of the videos I create aren't perfect either. It is for your viewing pleasure and for you to share with your family, friends, and loved ones, okay? So we have some more clips that we want to go through down here. We have about 6 clips, but right here, as you remember, I said there was something that happened in this video that I didn't like. So let's play it and see where we want to cut our video. So right there, when the video shakes, you notice that shake there. So what I want to do is cut this out. So I put the cursor, which is this long white line between your clip. That is what we're going to call the cursor. That's our cursor on our timeline, or just our indicator. You can call it whatever you want. Anything that works for you, you can call it whatever you want, okay? So this is our indicator to let us know where we want to cut our clip. And you'll notice right here, we have an additional toolbar that pops up as we go from clip to clip, okay? This right here is where we want to cut. You have other features here, but this is the main one right here that lets us cut exactly where we want to cut it, okay? Now we will look at what's left here. Maybe I like something in this. I don't know. Maybe I want to keep it. Well, I think that's pretty cool how they have how the camera is focused on them recording Beyonce. You might say, well, it's kind of far away. What can I do to fix that? Well, you can zoom in. I'm currently working on a computer, so it might be a little complicated for me to get a precise zoom, but I'm going to show you the feature anyway, but you should be able to do it with ease just at your fingertips, okay? So you'll just do the zoom option, and you'll kind of move it where you want it. I want it center frame. And so we'll kind of zoom in a little bit there, and I think that's good. So let's look at our 3 clips so far now that we've edited them. Nice. Okay. So now that we've added a few tools or used a few tools to kind of edit our video project so far, let's take a look at some of the options down here on Toolbar. You'll see trim, audio, text, sticker, and PIP. We'll go through those 5 really quickly, okay? So for this right here, for trim, it'll basically bring up that toolbar for you. So it's a shortcut key to bring you back to the video that we were working on. For audio, it's kind of similar to the volume button, but the audio button will actually be your audio for the entire project, okay? So we'll come back to that in just a moment. Then we have text. Text allows you to type whatever you want to type, okay? So we're going to click add, and it says enter text. So now it prompts you to enter what you want. You'll see it here on your screen as well. And so let's just say, having fun. And you can click style, and you can really get creative here if you want. So let's see what color we want to use. I like, how about too dark? So let's try this one. Maybe a little too light. I think I like that. Notice how I'm kind of choosing between one or the other. It's all based on preference. And what we're going to do probably is change the size a little bit. You can use the slider, or you can use the corner pins here to change it if you want. But I think I want to see if I can bold this. So we'll go to font. And you have a few fonts here that are free. So what I think I'll do is that one. That looks fun. Okay. Now, to save your progress, you might say, I like this, but you might accidentally X out of it. You don't want to X out of it if you like it. So what you want to do is hit the check mark to save it. And then what it'll do is layer right underneath the clip you want, but we're going to move it just so we can have it on the entire clip. Kind of extends over to the other clip. So what we can do, zoom in just to see the timeline a little bit more and slide it on over. Perfect. Now it doesn't go into the other clip. Okay, perfect. Now we've talked about text. Let's go into other features such as sticker. So there are a lot of options for you to choose from, but right now, majority of them, you will have to pay for them, but there are free options. Always look for the free options. So let's say, for instance, we want to put a heart sticker, for example. Let's type in heart. And we have a few options. I see a lot of green crowns, but I don't think this one is that across. Sorry, that is a little loud there. So 1 second, let me save my progress. And remember, if you took notes, to take that volume down, you would click that video, hit volume, hit mute. So while we're at it, let's just make sure that all the other clips are muted. For the sake of this video, we don't want any copyright problems, okay? If you know, you know. All right. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that all of my clips are muted. So this right now is a time for you to kind of play around with your app and see if there's some things that you've kind of picked up so far. And mute. Have a couple more. And as you notice, it could be a little tedious or time consuming, but if you really want a good project, you'll put in the effort. But we're coming to the end here to make sure that all of our clips are muted, because I want to make sure that you all are okay on that end who's viewing from Facebook. Now, let's go back to our sticker. Remember, drag the option that you want to move, kind of trim that down. Let's trim that up there. Kind of goes into our other clip. Sorry about that. It's a little challenging on the computer than it is on my phone. I'm slightly a perfectionist, so I do apologize. Okay, so let's just say that we want to include this clip this sticker actually here. Oh, we might have to delete that. So I think we made an error here. So let's just hit the delete button and click this one to make sure that our sticker is where we want it, okay? So sometimes it's gonna take a little practice for you. Sometimes it takes a little more practice for me too, okay? Perfect. Now we have that where we want it. Saving our progress. Okay, well, we'll have to pivot here, so that's all right. Let's just trim this down and we'll have a pop-up effect to help us. Now, I think I want the heart to be there, but it comes in a little bit random. So what we could do is add an animation. And let's see if there's one for free. Yes, a nice crossfade in. Let's save that. So it crossfades in. And you want to know something else that is cool? Let's see if we can find that tool really quickly. Tracking, here it is. So if you want this heart to stay in position or follow a character or anything on your video, so say for instance you have your kid running around playing games or something, and you want to kind of put a sticker on to follow your child, you can do that by clicking the tracking option. And let's say we want it focused directly on Beyonce. You can kind of change it there with the corner pins to kind of make it focus directly on her and hit start tracking and success. Let's play that really quick. Perfect. Now, for sake of time, let's see how our video is looking so far. Awesome. Okay. So say for instance, I like the video so far where it's at. I don't need all of these other clips. Then what we can do is just click them and delete. Click and delete. You might say, I want to keep that. So let's save it. Let's delete that one. Delete this one. And we'll delete that one. We want to kind of make this video a little short for social media. So we'll say about 15 seconds, okay? All right, so I think that's good there. Now, there are some other tools down here that you could use, but I think the other one that you might like the most, and then we'll kind of see, we'll talk about saving your video, is effects. So let's go to our last clip and see what effect we can add on to this clip. So we'll click effect and see if there are any cool options that we could use. Maybe not. So what we can do is just add a nice animation. Oh, here we are. Let's add in a nice slide up. Perfect. And let's save our progress. And now let's watch our video entirely. Looking good so far, looking good so far. So let's just kind of spice it up a little bit by clicking add music. You should be able to see that icon anywhere on your screen, but if you missed it, I'll go back. There's here on your timeline says add music, but you can also go to audio and click music. And let's just find something fun. And we'll say fun, happy, upbeat. Let's choose that. Okay, click add, the plus sign for add. And it seems like it's a short. Oh no, it's pretty long, okay. Oh, here we go. It's not allowing me to drag. So we seem to have an issue there.
Hi, Dimitri. I hate to interrupt. Quick question for you from Lauren. Lauren joined us a little late. No worries. Thanks for coming. Where do we download the Filmora app again?
Yes, so to download the Filmora app, you would just go to your app store on your iPhone, or you would go to Apple Play or Google Play on your Android.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Lauren, I hope that helps.
Okay, let me go back and find that audio file or that music file. And that was Happy Upbeat Add. Sometimes these apps can be a little picky, so you just have to pick back at it, okay? And again, I am using my computer versus my phone to show you the process, so bear with me just a little bit. So I want to make sure that this volume is not too loud, so let's turn that down to about 45, okay? And let's do a nice fade in for about 1 second and nice fade out at 1 second. Let's save our progress. Simple enough, right? Okay. So if you haven't seen it, let's just watch the video from the very beginning to kind of see the progress that we've made. And to be honest, like I said, it could take time. So feel free to use all the time that you want to really get your video to the look and feel that you desire, okay? But we'll just play it one more time and then we'll pause for a quick break. Looks good to me. I hope it looks good to you. And so if you are satisfied with your video, what you can do is click the export button, which is your save button, which will download it to your phone. So let's also consider it our download button. So you'll just click export. And these settings are a little more on the professional know-how side, so you really don't have to worry about this. However, if you're looking to post on your Instagram or your TikTok, make sure that your videos are at 1080p, or they could be at 72p as well. 72p or 1080p is just a resolution. So right now they are requiring that you download their subscription, but you don't have to do that. 720p is fine. And the frames per second, that's just the motion in the video. So if you notice some videos are moving a little slower, they have a slower frame rate. But if you notice that they're moving pretty seamless, more than likely they have a higher frame rate. But I think 30 is good for social media, okay? Let's exit out of that. And then all you do is hit export video and it'll download to your smartphone or your device, okay? Perfect. And so right now I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen and we'll break for questions if you have any, or if there was anything during your editing process that you might want to know more about.
And I've been editing along. I think my videos, it's happening. I definitely after this will play around.
Mine was definitely happening. Okay.
And I'm going to keep an eye on the chat for any questions that come along. But I had a question for you, Dimitri. Why do you prefer Filmora? Or have you used any of the other apps you recommended in the past?
Yes. So I've used Filmora, I've used CapCut, and I've used iMovie. I prefer Filmora only because of the design and the layout of the app. I prefer dark mode. So iPhone users, you know, the dark mode versus the light mode. So as you notice, Filmora has a more darker setting. And I prefer that because it's easier on the eyes, just for editing. So if you're at your phone all the time and you're constantly looking at videos and you know, the screen could kind of affect your vision if you look at the screen for too long. So I want to also remind you all to, you know, just take some time away from your phone, get some screen free time. That is very important because I edit videos all day. And so it could be hours on end for me. So yeah, just make sure you take time to, sorry, I was and I was it was not interrupting the feed. Just make sure to take some time from your screen. But just give it some time. You know, video editing did not come easy for me. I realized that I enjoyed it because in college I had to take a few editing classes, and I
Oh,
was like, oh my goodness, one of the projects that I had to do was editing a music video for our class. And I did get the top score. And my professor, he has retired now, but he's always showed that video. To this day, I'm embarrassed by it. I don't know. And I involved my friends in it. I made my friends act in it. It was like almost like the beginning of winter. And I had them in tank tops and shorts like it was summertime. But I got the score on it, and he raves about it to this day. And so that's one of my works that I'm proud of. So it's important to make videos, right? Because I can look back on that and laugh and also
Absolutely.
see the progress that I've made in my career.
Absolutely. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. And I'm seeing a bunch of comments in the chat now. One from Lauren. Thank you for answering the question earlier. We found Filmora and are downloading it now. Lauren, I can't wait to see what you create. I see Charlene said, I like dark mode too. It does affect your eyes. A little life hack. I usually have little blue light glasses that I wear when I'm using the computer throughout the day. And that does seem to help quite a bit. I don't have any headaches at the end of the day anymore. So those are nice too.
I use them from time to time too, but I try to stay in a well-lit area when I'm editing to kind of counterbalance that computer screen light, so it doesn't affect my eyes as much.
Right. And I see one from Dwayne that says, thank you, Dimitri. This was really helpful. I'm so glad. We're all learning along together, and you really are giving us some tips and tricks that we're going to take and make some nice new masterpieces. And then in part 3, be able to share with everyone. That'll be so fun.
Yes.
And then one last question from Lauren. There are a few options when I'm trying to add the app. How do I know which one to pick?
So yes, so I believe you said Lauren joined us a little late, right? But if you could, I mentioned earlier that. So what you want to do is just click the app and just look and browse and see if it, is what you want to use. So they have a description or it's labeled preview. And so it'll kind of give you options like photo options and little videos to kind of show you exactly what the app will do. So just browse through a few. Usually the top apps are the best app. They're the most favorable apps. So when you type in video editor, you'll notice that you'll have like CapCut at the top or like another video editor app. Those have been primarily used and they're more favorable. So just browse and look at the description and see if it's to your liking.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I know we have a bit more to learn, so I'm excited to keep going.
Yes, we do. So what I'm doing right now is just transitioning over to the other app. So just bear with me for just 1 second. I want to make sure that things are good to go. Okay. Perfect. And now I'll share my screen. Okay, perfect. So if you can see what I'm seeing here, this is another video editing app. This is called CapCut, one of the apps that we had recommended on Tuesday. And so CapCut is also another fan favorite or another favorable editing app because it's related to TikTok. And so a lot of you may be familiar with TikTok. And so the videos that you create in CapCut can be imported directly to TikTok for you to share with everyone, okay? And so what we're going to do is just kind of look at the layout here. So we were just talking about the darker mode versus the lighter mode. So you'll notice the difference in this app immediately. But it is also beginner friendly. The layout is very simple. And as you notice here, there's a very similar button that we talked about earlier in the class, the new project button. So again, if you just click that button, you'll be able to import the photos and the video that you want to create your new masterpiece with. But like I said, to save time, I've already imported some photos because now we're going to talk about creating a slideshow or photo video, if you will. So I know that we had a question, I believe, on Tuesday about that, if we could do the same thing that we do with videos with photos. And yes, you can. Now, the great thing about CapCut, it comes with templates. But really quick, I'm just going to show you the similarities in timeline with CapCut and Filmora, so that when you, say for instance, you download Filmora, but you don't like using Filmora, but you notice CapCut here, you might say, I think I might like that better. But the tools that I showed you were on Filmora. So I just want to familiarize you with the tools here on CapCut. So I'm going to go ahead and open my project. And as you can see, here is my star of the show again, my Yorkie Cairo. And so I just imported a few photos of him here. And again, you'll notice these similar keys and these buttons here that will allow you to do different transitions and things like that. The great thing about CapCut, it comes with a lot of options, more free options, I believe, than the other app. And so just make sure you look out for that, but they do a really good job at letting you know if you have to pay for them or not, okay? So what I wanted to do was, let's just hit check on that really quick. You'll notice here your toolbar, edit, audio, text, overlay effects, etc. So you notice it's very similar to the Filmora app. And so you want to, if you want to edit your video, you can simply click on it, or you can click edit, whichever one works. They're called shortcut keys, if you will. Your favorite movie star is back. Yes, he's upset right now because I won't allow him on camera. I might let him come and make an appearance later on, but he is a hyper little one. Okay, and then we have audio as well, where you have sounds, brand music. You also have copyright music as well, but you might have to pay for that. So just be mindful of things like that. So always be on the lookout for cues and hints of things telling you if it's free or not. We always want to go with the free option, okay? And then we have effects. So it's very similar, but we're going to make this one much easier. We don't want to go through all the editing again. So templates is usually where people go to kind of make things easy for them. So you have a lot of categories up here, right? But you don't really want to use any of those, or they don't cater to the topic that you want to talk about. Well, since we are talking about my dog or a dog in general, we can just type in dog. You might say, they come with, templates for dogs. Yes, they do. So if you have anything that is catered to a certain topic, you can type it in. Let's do another example. Beach. They give you so many options to choose from. Just makes your job easier as a beginner video editor. And quite frankly, I love it because it makes my job easier. I edit videos all day. So if I can shorten the time, that would be great. But we're gonna go back to the dog option. And then we're going to go to, I like this. So let's say we like this one and we go to use template. And we're going to look for my Cairo folder. And we have videos and photos. You can upload videos and photos to this template. So it's not subjected to just photos or videos. You can do both. So I believe that this comes with 17 items. So I'm sure we have enough. And if we don't, we'll just duplicate. That's fine. And then you'll notice here the timestamps for each video clip or photo. So we have about 4.2 seconds, and then the rest are about 0.5 seconds. So very quick. So this will be a very quick and easy video for you to use and edit. So let's go to videos and let's see, that's 4 seconds. And these video clips are about 13 seconds each. Well, we need longer clip for that one specifically, but we don't need it for the other ones. So let's go back to photos and let's just start adding them. And it'll just go from section to section. Looks like we got room for just one more. Now we'll hit next and let CapCut do the work. But first, audio might be a little too loud for you. So let's see here. Turn that down. I'm sorry, I'm moving a little too fast without saying what I'm doing. So what you want to do is, sorry. So go to audio, which is here in your toolbar. Again, you see text here, so very familiar tools. So you click audio. And this is the one that we're using here. Sound. And what you want to do is drag it over. Let's do 35. Okay, that one was a little tricky, so we had to go a little lower. All right, and add sound. Oh, that's Define Others. Got it. So this says commercial sound copyright. So you'll see things like this come up on certain apps. It is just letting you know that it's a copyright song. It's not telling you that you can't use it, but just familiarize yourself with the information as it comes up. So that way you're not just clicking got it and moving on. And then you post your video and you realize your video has like a warning on it, or your video may have a copyright signature on it. You may say, well, where did this come from? Make sure you read the details before you export your video. So commercial sound copyright is just simply the commercial sounds can be used on all platforms or only on TikTok and CapCut. But say, for instance, you are uploading to TikTok, it is A-okay. If you're uploading it to other applications such as Facebook or Instagram, it is still fine. They will just probably either watermark your video, or they'll probably just know that they'll probably put something along the lines on the audio saying that this sound has came from XYZ app, okay? So I hope I made sense there, but if not, feel free to ask and I'll kind of break it down a little more for you. Okay. And so let's take that from the top and let's see how our video looks, because we didn't do much editing, right? We just uploaded our videos and let CapCut do the work. And as you notice, it even has a little caption text here. So we didn't even have to add text. I totally forgot about text because CapCut is just that easy, right? So let's go ahead and play and see if it's good to go. I think it's perfect. What do you think? Do you think it's great? You might say, something's wrong, something's wrong. Okay, fine. Because I'm picky, let's just adjust this one, okay? So what I want to do is maybe change some coloring around. So what I clicked here is just our adjust button here to just adjust our colors and maybe give it a more pop. So brightness allows you to turn up the brightness if the video is too dark, but I thought it was too bright, so I wanted to bring the brightness down so we can read our text, right? Contrast allows you to darken your video, give it more vibrancy, or you can kind of make it a little more dull. So on Tuesday, I talked about, it depends on the look and feel that you're going for. If you're looking for ominous, I think this would be great for ominous, very flat and dark. But if you're looking for something like, oh my gosh, this is fun and vibrant and nice, turn it up a bit. Saturation kind of does the same thing. It just gives the color a little bit more warmth and vibrancy. Exposure is similar to brightness, but it exposes your entire photo. It takes some of the character out of it. So you don't really need to do that. You have other tools like Sharpen, which sharpens your video. Clarity, which gives your video more sharpness but definition. And some of these other ones you really don't have to play with either, but feel free to do so because it is your app and it's at your fingertips. So have fun. So I think that looks good. So let's give it one more play over, because why not? The star of the show is cute, right? I think it looks great. And so if you remember, in order to download your video to your phone for you to be able to share it on your social media platform or through text message with your family and friends, all you have to do is click the export button. and you should be good to go. But I'm gonna tell you a little hack, okay? You see this little bug right here? CapCut wants people to know that you've made your video with CapCut. It is A-okay. It does not hurt your video at all. They just want more people to download the app, which is fine. It's a great app. So I understand it, okay? But if you don't want the watermark there, if you have TikTok, you can upload your video to TikTok and it will remove this little thing here. And now it's like you've made it. Give yourself a pat on the back for that. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all that I have to share with you on today. And I really hope that was helpful. But again, I'm here for any questions that you might have. And I look forward to seeing some of the great creative videos that you make.
Me too. This was wonderful. And yeah, that's my favorite star of the show. I hope one day we'll get to see him and make an appearance, but I'll let him be in his own little corner, his own little world today.
He's just looking at me.
And before I let you go, I do see a quick question from Charlene. Are you matching the beat of the music with the changes of the slides, or does the slides follow anyway?
That is a great question, Charlene, because I did not do any of that. CapCut did. So if you saw how quick and professional that was, trust and believe, CapCut is definitely for beginners. It's definitely for people like me who want to save time. And so, I mean, it just helps. It makes your videos come to life. And that's why I saved the best for last, honestly. But I kind of wanted to walk you through Filmora too, because it's a great app to have as well.
Absolutely. And I saw with Filmora that you had a lot of agency over what you could do and how you added text and what stickers you chose. So that was really cool to learn.
Yes, and you can do that in all the other apps too. You just have to navigate it. And based off of what I shared with you today, you should be able to do so very easily because they all have similar formats.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much again for your time, Dimitri. If there's no other questions from the chat tonight, thank you to our audience for joining us. I see Lauren said she's gonna have to practice, and I will too, because I know in part 3 we're gonna learn how to share these videos. And I'm a perfectionist too. I don't want people to get it not right. So I know you're gonna get us together.
Yes. Sharing is the last part of this series, and I think it's a very important part. And I'm gonna give you a lot of information on what you can do to really get your stuff out there for people to see.
Amazing. Then we'll see you again next Tuesday, same time, same place. Thanks so much, Dimitri.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you to our audience for joining us. If you do have any videos that you created tonight and want to share, please feel free to email advice@sagecollective.org because we would love to see them. And follow us on all social media. We have the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, all the things. And on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see some past classes that we've had, just like the one on Tuesday, if you didn't get to join us for then, or if you wanted to see some of our other classes like Art with Asha or our book club series with Ariane Nettles. And that's it that I have for you tonight. Please visit sagecollective.org to learn more about the Sage Advice Vibrant Learning programs and to register for any upcoming classes, just like the one we're having on Tuesday. We'll be here, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on StreamYard, Tuesday, March 4th at 7 p.m. Central Time to learn how to share the beautiful videos that you all have been making along with us. Thank you so much again for joining tonight, and we hope to see you then. Bye.